Hi there. Thanks for joining me this week for the Visibility Shift. For those people who don't know me, I'm a brand photographer and visibility specialist, helping women in business to find their confidence to step out as the face of their brand. So every week, I've been interviewing some amazing business women, all about visibility. We've been having some really interesting chats, and some great insights have come out of those. And this week, I'm going to be speaking to Alex Standley. Alex is a personal stylist and a speaker, very experienced speaker. She's also involved in sustainable fashion, and she's got 20 years experience, I believe, in the fashion industry. So it's going to be a really interesting chat. I can tell you we've discussed lots and lots of great topics around visibility, making sure we're on brand and being visible the whole time. So please do check out this conversation. I think you'll find it really interesting, and take care. Bye. Hello again, and welcome back to the Visibility Shift. I can't believe we're already more than halfway through this series and it's flying by. So far, we've heard some fascinating conversations of different aspects of visibility from some incredible female entrepreneurs. And today is no exception. And I'm really thrilled to be joined by TEDx speaker, award-winning, trailblazing personal stylist, Alex Standley. Thanks so much for joining me today, Alex. I'm really excited that you're here. And when I first envisaged this series, I really knew that I wanted a personal stylist to be part of the visibility conversation. I was told a long time ago that your brand should always be visible, and that included what you wear. So, before we dive into the questions, I'd be really fascinated to hear more about you, your business, and how style plays such an important role in showing up confidently.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. Thank you. This is a subject that obviously comes up a lot in the work that I do. So, yeah, I'm Alex Standley. I am a personal stylist, a speaker, and a sustainable fashion consultant. So, I help predominantly established female founders and senior leaders to amplify their confidence, their success, and their impact through the power of style. So I'm a big believer that style is so much more than just the clothes. I think it has such a profound impact on the way that we show up in the world, on our confidence, and it runs a lot deeper than the world would have us believe. I think that often we've been missold this story that, style's frivolous, it's meaningless, it's materialistic to care about how you look. But actually, that sells us short, especially as women, because it can be such a powerful tool to help us. I hate the phrase fake it till you make it, but there's such power in, especially when you're developing yourself, professionally, that you can kind of lean on your style as a really powerful tool to support you in that. And, if you're stepping onto bigger stages or you're leading board meetings or whatever it is that you're doing, where you're kind of stretching your comfort zone, your style can be such a great tool to support you with that as well.
I totally agree. I mean, I was told that a long time ago by a mentor I had many years ago, actually. And, not everyone feels confident in finding their style and finding
Mm.
what not only kind of what makes them feel confident, but what also makes them feel good,
Yeah,
and comfortable as well. Because
definitely.
sometimes we can put on clothes, and even though we might look good and everyone tells us we look good, we feel uncomfortable in it. So it's a real
That's,
learning curve, and I think people like you can really help. So I'm really interested in your journey into. I know you started off in M&S, and obviously, when you leave a big corporation like that, it must be quite daunting. So I'm just wondering what leap of faith you made to step out of your comfort zone into the limelight and start your journey here.
yeah, it was huge. So my whole background was in the fashion industry. I was very fortunate, I guess, that I knew what I wanted to do from quite a young age. So I studied at London College of Fashion. I went into buying straight off the bat. So I started at M&S, worked my way up, and then I spent another 6 years at Amazon after that. So my journey into personal styling actually started whilst I was still working at Amazon as a footwear buyer. And I really felt like I had lost the sort of creativity that I had in my role previously when I worked at M&S. And one of my friends at work encouraged me to start an Instagram account, which I was a bit dubious about because I was like, oh, no one's going to want to, listen to what I've got to say about style and fashion and things like that. And she was like, I think, don't overthink it. Just get yourself out there. It's a way to get your creativity back. So I started this account in 2018 and I loved it. It was kind of Instagram in its heyday, I guess. Very, very creative. And I happened to connect with another stylist who trained personal stylists. And very heavily pregnant, I went to one of her workshops in London and I just absolutely fell in love with the whole concept of the transformation, I guess, that style provides. So when I was on maternity leave, having had my daughter, I decided to retrain with her. And it was just incredible because I was also going through my own transition on becoming a new mum. And I really felt like I'd lost a lot of that confidence that I'd had, on having a lifetime in the fashion industry. I'd always felt quite confident in what I was wearing and how I was showing up. And that real shift in identity had just shaken all of that up. And I was feeling quite low in confidence and obviously starting a new direction in my career as well. That personal stylist training really showed to me how transformational that whole process can be in reconnecting with yourself, really understanding who you are and how you want to show up in the world, and understanding what works for you when it comes to color and body shape and all of those things really shifted my confidence and how I was feeling. And then I just felt so passionately about sharing that with other women as well. But like you said, that shift from the corporate world into being a solopreneur was also such a big leap of faith because I was used to being behind these huge corporate businesses. M&S and Amazon are both massive. And then going from that to being, a team of one with no support around me, did make me have to kind of face up to a lot of things in terms of personal development and putting myself out there. I no longer had that sort of, I don't know, that team behind me, but also that kind of cover of it's somebody else's business that I'm putting myself out there for. It was all me, all on me. And that was a huge leap of faith for me.
I feel that many people share that with you because there are lots of people who come from that corporate world or a world where they've come from employment and then they're suddenly standing by themselves, and it is really hard and it's daunting. What's fabulous about the world of female entrepreneurship is that you do have support around you, if you look for it, in networking groups and that kind of thing. There are lots of people around who really want to raise up other women around them as well as themselves. So because I'm a photographer and we're both visual people and creative people, I'm really interested in how you use photography as a tool to help your clients. And if you do, what does that kind of look like? And at what point in the journey do you introduce it? I'm really curious about the relationship you and your clients have with the camera, and is that integral into bringing the confidence to your clients when introducing a new look? I know it's a quite convoluted question, but
yeah. Yeah, so I've actually just recently done a new service within modeling services called Style Trailblazers, and that was the first time that I fully integrated photography into my process. Because I think it's so powerful when you've gone through that transformation and that evolution in how you're showing up to then capture that on camera and kind of fully embody that person that you've become and those changes that you've embraced is so powerful because you finally kind of see yourself in the same way that the rest of the world does. And I think there's something really transformational about that. So I wouldn't ever um, suggest doing the photography before you've done that work on how you want to show up and your style. And so we went through this whole process of me really getting to know those clients and creating their signature style, understanding what colors worked for them, their body shape. and really pinpointing the specific looks that they wanted to create so that they could really showcase not only their own personality, but their personal brand in terms of their business as well. So having gone through that process, and I went out shopping for them and we created 2 looks for this personal branding shoot. The results of that photography were even more powerful than they would have been if we hadn't kind of gone through that process to begin with. But it was almost like seeing them come to life, which is obviously the beautiful part of the photography.
Yeah, I think I mean, 'cause looking at some of your work, I saw recently, I think it was in Brand G magazine, you had
Yeah.
a big article with some of your sort of cohort of clients who
Yeah.
kind of experienced that, and I thought it was amazing. And I can see the connections between um, photography and what you do, because obviously
Mm.
a lot of the people who you're working with are in business,
Yeah.
and they want to they've obviously got their new look which is on brand for them, and then they want to
Mm.
showcase it everywhere, so
Yeah.
it's brilliant. So we seem to have quickly come to the final question. What advice would you offer listeners today to become more visible to their ideal audience, and what key piece of advice do you think you would give?
I think one of the biggest things that comes up with my clients is not waiting until you're ready, because I don't think there's ever the perfect time when you're going to feel ready to, put yourself out there. I definitely have found with my own journey and with my clients' journeys that you build confidence through showing up and through doing those, challenging things that perhaps feel a little bit outside of your comfort zone. And waiting for that perfect day when you've lost weight or you feel more confident or you're more established, or whatever those kind of excuses are that we tell ourselves. There never will be that perfect time, and I think today is the best day to start. And it's amazing how much you'll find that you grow and you evolve, and how much confidence is built through showing up. I've definitely found that in my own experience. I cringe when I when I look back at myself on, the very first Instagram live series that I did, or videos that I did at the start of my career. And I'll look back at those now and just think, oh my God, that's just so cringeworthy. But, that was me at the start of my process, learning and embracing and putting myself out there. And I'm now, 6 years on. And I've done things like TEDx and put myself out there on stages. And I don't think that woman like 6 years ago ever felt that I would have the confidence to do that. So it just goes to show, um, stepping out of your comfort zone, you don't have to feel ready. It's just putting yourself out there and building from there.
Yeah, that's such good advice. I mean, I think when we step out of our comfort zone, it can actually give us that extra boost that we need to of confidence, and then we kind of come to the next thing that we need to kind of step up to, and
Yeah.
each time we step up, it builds and builds on that.
It's a
That's
constant journey.
Yeah, it is, and I think being in business is such a learning curve, and hopefully
Def-
people watching today will have learned a little bit more about personal styling and a little bit more about visibility too. If you have enjoyed this conversation, please do let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you'd like to find out a bit more about Alex and her work, you'll find all the details in the notes next to her video on the website, and also put some stuff in the comments as well. So, Alex, thank you so much for sharing your insights today, and it's been a really pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Well, I really, really loved that conversation that I had with Alex. I hope you've enjoyed it too. It is really important as businesswomen that we put ourselves out there and that we're seen the way we want to be seen. And I think considering our style and our style connected with our brand is really important. So I'd also wanted to say I'd really, really love to help people who may feel not confident enough to step in front of the camera right now. But if you feel like that, let's have a conversation and let's talk about this, because I think the truth is, and we all know that we can't expand and grow our businesses if we're not visible. And one of the foundations to that is having a really, really strong brand photo shoot. So please do get in touch. I'd love to talk to you about your visibility and about if I can help you at all. So you can DM me, or you can click the link either in on Instagram in my bio, or you can go in my contact section in LinkedIn. So I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye.